Alrighty, so we're out here with Lola. This is not the first time she's been out, but it's the first time I've taken her out. I want to say it might be the second or third time it's been out. Obviously, by the time this gets posted, she'll have been out many more times, since we do have like a little bit of a delay on the videos. But yeah, good old Lola. She's a good one, huh? Good egg. And she's so cute. I think you guys saw me train her very eccentrically in our inside area. And, I just think she's so cute. I said in the video that I don't usually go crazy for, like, just her style of, like, dog, just that kind of style of breed, right? Any kind of those, like, bully breed-esque features. I usually don't go crazy for them. Like, I have nothing against them. It's just, like, I usually go crazy for, like, the labs and the retrievers and some of the shepherds can be cute. That more, like, that kind of look. But, dear Lord, she's so pretty. She's so cute. Lola, come here. Will you sniff? Sometimes I can get her. There we go. Here, let's... Lola, hey. Is that... Okay, do you want to see my eyes? Lola, hey. Look at... Lola. Are my shades freaking... Hey. Lola, look up. Lola! Look at my eyes. See, these shades are not part of me. Hey. See, I told you. See? They go on, that's all. Oh, baby. It's okay. So she's just a little nervous. Not even by far the worst nervous case I've ever worked with. Not that I'm necessarily a veteran or anything. I mean, I'm not old enough to be a veteran, but I worked with a lot worse. And she'll be just fine. She just, honestly, with her, it's definitely, for some reason or another, environmental or like small, very like, I don't see a lot of genetic nervousness because, again, she's opening up really fast. And typically when it's genetic nervousness, there is like a period that takes a lot longer for the dog to open. We just had a dog leave about maybe 3 weeks to a month ago now at this point. And his name was Ozzy, and he's super cute, and he's like super tiny, and he was like, he's got the genetic nervousness for like, it was environmental, frankly, I believe, plus genetic, because he had some kind of backstory to him that I wasn't being drizzled on and trying to really focus on this nervous dog. I might be able to tell the story, but anyways, all right, so right here, you can't go crazy. It's okay. So we're just trying to get her to be around people. That's all I want. Just be around people, be around things, do commands. Because at the end of the day, when you think about it from a psychological standpoint, nerves are distractions, right? They're high-level distractions, right? Because when you're nervous, you are physically capable of doing everything that you usually are. I mean, granted, maybe like, as like, nerves kick up, right? I mean, even as people, we get too nervous, we can start to have a hard time controlling, like, we might stutter a lot, right? We might, just different weird things, right? Weird behavioral things that, you can pick up on immediately, where you go, oh, he's nervous, right? But you learn to power through it, and it becomes, at the end of the day, you realize that it is ultimately a distraction that you give a lot of power to, right? They're very, very high-level brain distractions that we have. So Lola just learned to power through it. If it's environmental, it's better, because sometimes they just go away. If it's genetic, then they do have to learn how to essentially power through all the noise in their head, essentially. Lola, come. Good, baby. No. There we go. Okay. Good job, Lola. So right now we're just doing some walking around. I mean, obviously you're watching the video. Probably can tell. Doing some walking around. I ranted a little bit for that first little bit, but I'm kind of just trying to let her acclimate here too. I have the e-collar on her. I will not be using it this whole session. In fact, it is not turned on. I just have it on her because I just want her to be used to wearing it. That way, if we don't do it this whole session, she doesn't equate the stimulation from the e-collar to the collar. So if it's on her right now, if she feels nothing, and the next session she feels it, she's like, well, nothing changed. So I guess it must genuinely just be this behavior that like causes this chain reaction. And she doesn't suspect that it's the collar. Hey, it's okay. All right. Come up here, Lola. All right. I'm very delicate with these dogs. Aww. All right. Hey, Lola. Can you help me out here? Good girl. Okay. Good job, Lola. So that's our kind of marking a new down. She got a pee. She got a pee. There we go. Good job, Lola. And again, that down probably took a lot of mental energy for her to not be like, oh crap. All right. Lola, down. Down. Come on. Hey. No. No. So I'm just like locking her up here. I'm not hurting her or anything. She just can't run away. Lola, down. Nope. Lola, down. All right. Down. There we go. Okay. Good job. So that was a little ambiguous for her. And so I'm going to run that again. She's a little standoffish right now. The tail's completely tucked. So we have two options here. We can I can just, all right, Lola, yeah, go off, do your thing. We can just kind of let her do her thing and explore and hope that that tail will like pop back up. We're good. Or we can run. And I'm gonna give her a second, see if that tail will just pop up a little bit. Because frankly, it's hot, it's humid, it's drizzly. I would prefer to not have to bolt and run with her to release the feel-good chemicals in her brain. And I don't think that she's so nervous that I have to do that. But it is an option, actually, kind of a new option I've been going through recently, because a lot of dogs I do work with are more environmental nerves as opposed to genetic nerves. Obviously, we do both. We have somebody else who does a lot of the genetic ones, and I do a lot of the environmental ones. But we do have crossovers, of course. So obviously, I cross over into that territory, and Kelton, he does some more like genetic things. He crosses over into that too, into what I work on a lot. So it's important to know if you're going to be a trainer. Ooh. Hey Lola, come here. Here. There we go. Choke chain. I was wrapping around the e-collar. Thought it was anyways. There we go. So you can see the tail is a little more animated than it was before. So why'd her tail go down like that? Well, I kept saying down, and she was like, I don't know what that means. I'm confused, right? So watch what happens this time. Lola. Hey. Hey, it's okay. So those dogs kind of messed up. I created a very peaceful scenario for her. So, thanks. I can't be mad at them. They're just dogging. They're just barking. They're just doing what they do. A little inconvenient for me, but it'll go alright. So her tail's decently high up right now. So what I'm gonna do, hey baby, hey Lola, down. Oh, good job. Okay. And see, and her tail didn't go down at all because we kept it very stress-free the clarity was really high. Look, I very much showed her what I wanted when I said the word. It's good. That's what you do with a nervous dog, is you just make the criteria, whether they're in, like, whatever, because I was just talking about the genetic versus environmental, whatever they are, right? Clarity is what wins. And of course, clarity in general is important. The main thing is just like the nervous dog, right? You don't give them clarity, they'll freak out. Hey, okay. You give a happy dog, right? You know, say happy lab, no nerves, right? Or a retriever, right? Who barely, you know, I mean, they can have nerves. I'm working with one that has one right now, but it's not too common. So, you know, they'll make you look good because they'll piece stuff together. But a nervous dog who's just scared to be running around, you need every little bit of clarity that you can find as a trainer to make things clear. All right. Down. Down. Here we go. Down. So right there, I made a little mistake there. Okay. What was my mistake? Well, I kept saying the word over and over. That rep wasn't like it wasn't bad the way I did that, but I will say that the downside of doing that repetitively, now like that was an isolated case. If I do that all the time, what will happen is she'll start to need to hear the word over and over, and the implied stay essentially becomes like void, right? It just doesn't work anymore. So it's very important that I talk about the window all the time. It's like, you know, there's your window of opportunity, right? And like a window of opportunity doesn't open every single time you say, I want a new opportunity. There's a window of opportunity, and once it closes, it does not come knocking again sometimes, right? And that idea applies to the command window. It's open, and it's not going to open over and over and over again. But while it's open, and you can't just decide for it to close and open, right? I can. She can't. All right, Lola, down. Down. Right, so she's a little confused. So I'm just gonna. All right, let's reset. Come on. So there's some confusion going on there, mixed with maybe a little bit of avoidance. I'm not sure. Try it again. Lola, down. All right, there we go. Good girl. Hey, you got this. Come on. Yeah, you got this. Oh, she went into it that time. That was a good girl. Good girl. Lola. Down. Okay. Good job, Lola. So I'm gonna be honest. A lot of times I try to get a command off semi-verbal once I start it. Doesn't always happen though, and that's okay. But it can't. There's no way it can always happen, right? Every dog's different. Every brain is different. Every dog that matches up with my brain is different, right? The relationship that a trainer and a dog has. Sometimes if you take the exact same problems, exact same breed, but it's two different dogs, maybe the way I teach is just slightly doesn't click with her as quick. Well, that's fine. I try to customize it to the dog, but you get my point. Is that I can't always have exactly what I want every time. So let's try this again. Lola, hey, down. So we're not gonna give her a choice. All the way. Hey. Down. Okay. So I'm gonna make the window a lot shorter. I think it's really important that we do that. She's getting a little curious about people, so that's good. Curiosity killed the cat, or in our case, makes the cat lose its nervousness. What a cheesy thing to say on camera, dear Lord. Lola. Hey, down. You got, hey. Down. Come on, you're good. Mm-hmm. Come on. Good job. Okay. Good job. Good job, Lola. Oh, wow. The police are actually getting in their vehicle for once. Sorry, I never see the police car actually get used here. I know it's gotta be somebody's police car, but they're a police vehicle, but I just never seen anybody actually like drive it. I just always parked when I get here. So Lola is not as excited to do it down on the concrete, which is perfectly normal, but she's gonna have to, so we're gonna do that. Lola, down. Alright, so she's gonna fight me a little. Down. I just have to show her she doesn't have an option. Lola, down. Nope. Alright, so she may not be ready for that, so let's go in the rest. Lola, come on. Hey, Lola, down. Come on, you got this. Yeah. Come on. Okay, good job. So I'm like pushing her, but you know, for the down, I think the longest the down ever took me with good technique was maybe like 4 sessions. It was a very it was a really tough lab. It's okay. Lola, sit. Oh, that's such a good girl. Good job. Just our implied. Stay here. Yeah. She's thinking about it. I want to see her settle. Just chill out. Okay. Good job, Lola. That's so good. What time is it? Because I got so many appointments today. Gotta head out of here in about 5 minutes. So we got about 5 minutes left for this session. I could end it. I mean, like, obviously I don't force a dog, but we have 5 minutes left of time that I can give her. I'm just gonna keep working that down with her. Lola. Hey. Down. So, and you just gotta force him to do it. I'm not gonna give up on the pressure until she gives in. Okay. Good job. And that's the key. Is like, I think people think that it's like, oh, I can't pull anymore, so it's not gonna work. It's like, that's not the problem. For a dog like Lola, who knows that she knows, right? She knows what I'm trying to get her to do. I think. I'm like 80% sure, right? Sometimes you sit there and you're like, do they really? And, you know, the fact that if I keep pulling, she'll go into it perfectly tells me she knows the position. So what's the issue? Well, she doesn't have a real reason to do it. So, in this, I'm going to try to, and we're not going to be able to get it today. But I want to find something that just makes her go really crazy. I got really breathy. I was like, hey. I want to find something that makes her go really crazy. Like, just super interesting to her. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be today. And sometimes you don't find that super interesting thing until the doggies open up a little bit. But once she opens up more, maybe we do find something that she just goes absolutely crazy over. I can reward her with that. And on top of that, it will show me that, she's... I'm trying to word something here. So we open her up, she finds what she likes, and then on top of that, with finding the reward, then I show her that the reward you will like a lot more than the consequence of you not listening. And in this case, we already have some of that going on, right? She loves to sniff, but she's super hypervigilant. If I go like this, ooh, yeah, even that, right? I'm sorry. I didn't do that on purpose. That just happened to work out, which I won't say in my favor because it seems really mean. But you know what I'm saying? Like, she's very hypervigilant. She's very, like, who's near me, right? If I scrape my foot on the ground, right? That's it. Right? And I'm not trying to scare her, right? In fact, it's good that she hears those noises and realizes nothing bad is going to come out of that. But we don't do that too much, right? With a person, right? You learn by being put in situations that force you to grow, right? You don't, like, become conscious of things you need to work on by being comfortable 24/7. Now, whether it's somebody bringing it to your attention, or you realizing something that you don't like about yourself, or whatever, what have you, right? There's something that brings it to your attention, but you don't throw it all at yourself at once. People who try to do that, I'm sorry, I'm very animated. It's hard to not scare the dogs with my hands. You don't throw all of that at once on your brain. And if you do, that's how people burn out trying to be better people, and they like get depressed and like, I can't do it, right? Because they try to increase the load to be way too high. So the main deal here is that I'm introducing things to her at a pace that she can handle it. And as a trainer, you do kind of have to decide, how much can she handle it? It's not my place to decide per se. She decides, right? But it is my job to look at her and make an educated guess about has she taken in too much, and am I right on the conclusion that I've made based upon this dog. So in this case, like, I'll use the tail, right? I use the body language, the eyes, right? There's a lot of things you can use. On top of that, just knowing, like, dogs in general, right? You combine all of that together to try to gauge out a dog. I mean, it's like people, right? Yeah, as people, we're really good at just picking up, like, little cues, right? Little social cues, right? If you're, like, yapping about something, right? And they just keep going, interesting. Right? Well, they didn't explicitly be like, this is boring me, right? Because they won't do that because they think it's rude. But those cues tell me, like, oh, this person's nervous, right? Or, let's say you have somebody who's not a big people person. You invite them, like, a big get-together or something, right? And you're like, oh, can you make that? Like, nah, I don't have a car or something, right? Or I'm out of gas. You're like, oh, I'll spot your gas. Don't worry, I got you, bro. They're like, oh, thanks. But the thing's like, I also got to, like, get some chores. And you're like, oh, bro, I got you. I'll, like, come and help you with your chores. And they're like, yeah, but after the chores, I also got, like, this thing. And you're like, oh, yeah. Don't you forget it the next day? Like, you could do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not taking the cue of, like, dog. They just don't want to come. That's okay. But it's those cues that we pick up on, and if you're on the dogs enough, you pick up on those too, and hope that you're right. Unfortunately, as a 21-year-old human, I've had 21 years of interacting with people and learning cues, and with dogs, you don't get that amount of experience, because even as a trainer, I train for certain periods of the day. I interact with people who knows, like, all day sometimes, right? You just have to, I think, in my opinion, you have to be more studious about the body language of a dog, because it is not inherently as easy to read. And dogs probably feel the same about us, right? So I'm gonna try to go into another down on the concrete here, might I add, and I'm just not gonna let her break out of it. Down, Lola, down. She'll give in. She will. Down. And I'm not gonna say the word again. And look at the tail. It's still not like she's got the with the tongue, right? A lot of people are like, oh, look, she's smiling. That's a sign of anxiety. So with the tail like that, the anxiety and the tongue out and the panting for a hot second, that is how you do spot that a dog was a little like, you're gonna get that. I mean, you could literally be the best trainer in the world. And while I'd like to think that I'm pretty good, I'm not the best trainer in the world. And I don't know if I really think there's a best in the world, but the point of what I'm saying is it doesn't matter how good you are, you're gonna get those panting moments because it's part of the learning process. And that's okay. The important thing is, would you rather have a nervous dog that pants for a little bit, right? You're gonna get a little bit of panting through the learning process, or you never make the dog pant, but the dog never really learns. You never put the dog through any stressful situation. Things that other people put their dogs in stressful situations that aren't nervous, and it doesn't look as bad. Psychologically, the exact same thing is happening. The only difference is that the nervous dog reacts a little bit differently. That's all. That's all. That's all it is. Lola, come. So she's doing a little avoidance thing, so we're just gonna make her. Good job. Okay. And so I social pressured into that a little bit. Where's my car? Parked it over there. Somebody freaking thief my car? Oh, okay, I'll put it away. I remember it being that far though. Kind of full back here. I wonder if there's an event going on or something. Alright, Lola, down. Okay. Good job. And that's what we're doing out here. We're just doing some downs. Just reinforcing it today. Like, I'm not gonna, for a nervous dog that like is kind of fluttery, I'm not gonna try to force a heel. There's like inherent dangers with that. I was looking at the ups like they're blocking it off. There's inherent dangers with that, right? Let's go. Good job. Let's go. Okay. There's inherent dangers with doing a heel for a nervous dog and forcing them. And it's funny, I've now talked about this twice today. One on a different video that it just naturally came up, and then one with our communications, Hema. And I was talking about if your dog is like nervous and they're not a nipper, then like, yeah, they're not gonna bite, but you try to force them into a heel. And you know, when you train a heel, you do push it a little bit harder than you would just your average heel, right? And so you might just make the dog be like, just shut down completely. If they're scared of people, they might get more scared of people. If they have some nipping in them, what you end up doing is you like heel grind enough, dog gets frustrated, more frustrated, then boom, like they might nip at somebody else. Typically they won't nip at you if there's a bond, but like, you know, you heel grind and then all of a sudden nips at like a 4-year-old. It's not a great look for you or your dog. That's how dogs get put down all the time. So, but she's doing absolutely amazing to end out this session.